Now we're live. What's going on, people? This is the Openly Biased Podcast. Back again with Samuel. What's going on, Chiz? Say
Man,
what's up.
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing, man?
You know, I'm doing great myself. We're just gonna we have some interesting topics to cover today. Obviously, there's been a lot of development the past few last day or so. We're gonna go over some of the results of the weekend. We're gonna talk about
Shit, I don't want to talk about.
a lot of uncomfortable conversations are going to be had today. But for the most part, we're going to try to keep it, you know, PG and respectable up in here. You know. All right. Without further ado, we're going to talk about our results this weekend. Chelsea played Sheffield United away. This was Tuchel's fourth game in charge of Chelsea, and Chelsea did win a third game in a row. And the way Tuchel has done it this past couple of those games is that he's played three in the back. This particular game was missing uh, our reliable defender and Thiago Silva, who has some muscle injury. And I gotta be honest with you, I was definitely nervous for this one because I was thinking, this man is, this the rock in our defense,
Right.
and you know, and the fact is, these last three games weren't easy games. Like we played Tottenham, and we beat Tottenham 1-0 away from home, and I'm pretty sure if Lampard was still in charge, I don't see us winning, these three games in a row. I mean, we barely conceded any goals too. Rudiger's own goal was a disappointment, but Tuchel is yet to concede from an opposing team since he's, taking charge. Aside from that, the mistake that Rudiger made, I think he had a pretty good game, and he made some key stops towards the end of that game. I don't think he put a foot wrong, and that goes for Christensen as well. He made a lot of crucial stops towards the end of that game, and getting when Sheffield started getting those late free kicks, which for some reason Conte was just following people outside the box. I mean, there's the only way that Sheffield was going to score, but we can chalk that one down to rustiness because he's only just come back from injury, so I'll let him slide on that. But even up to the end of that game, we were all very nervous. I mean, we saw Mendy make a save at the last minute, and that stop right there preserved our 3 points because this dude went out and pulled out an acrobatics, move at the end of the game, and almost scored. So for me, it was just a very cool thing, and I mean, another thing that another takeaway from that game was that our strikers are still not scoring. We're still not scoring. We're creating a lot of chances, and nobody, you cannot depend on our strikers right now to put the ball behind in the goal. But what was encouraging for me was that, you know, Werner was making these amazing runs, and he was just slicing and dicing that defense. He was pulling the defenders out of position. He was, making these runs, and I think that eventually, if the midfielders can look up and find him, well, he's gonna get his chances. He's gonna start scoring. He got a penalty for us, and
When's the last game he scored a goal? Actually, because he's been like on a drought for two, but he had two assists right in the last game. Oh,
he had the assist, and he got the penalty kick. Another stat that is pretty impressive about Timo is that he's got seven. He's won seven penalty kicks this season. That's the
seven.
most in that's the most in England.
You guys,
That's the
you
most
guys are
in the
you guys are the new Manchester United with the penalties now. Seems like
But yeah, think about it. Just from one guy, though, that just tells you that he's putting himself about. You know, he's not just scoring, but he's getting in there. He's getting in the mix. Some of the criticism of Timo that I've heard is that he goes missing and he shies away from the play and he doesn't want to get involved. But you can't really get if you're not getting involved. If you're not getting involved, you can't get 7 penalties. So
yeah,
to me, I
he
think
definitely
the
gets around and about in the right positions to secure those penalties and
yeah, I mean Jorginho has missed a couple of those penalties, but
trying to do
yeah.
the hops cup.
Yeah, he went back to that this weekend and he scored, but I was nervous watching that.
He got to drop that shit, man. That's that trick only. I mean, I feel like people are used to it now, so it's not gonna work like it was, working a couple years back when he was a little more effective. People didn't really understand what he was doing, but I think now he misses a lot more penalty than he scores. Am I wrong or right?
I think that well he's made the last two he's taken, but I think he's mixing it up. The last game against Tottenham, he didn't skip, he just shot it. So I
Right,
think goalkeepers are gonna be confused as to what he's gonna do. You know, there are times that I've seen him twice this season where he doesn't do it, he just smashes it and
right.
scores. And then other times he'll just do it. So I think it's good that he's mixing it up. It's not just one thing. You know, keep these guys guessing. I personally like it. So yeah. So all in all, I think we're back in the top four
You
race.
guys are definitely trending in the right direction. I mean, I bet it feels good to be a Chelsea fan at this moment. I mean, compared to us, Arsenal, we going backwards.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I mean for me, this is just regular for me at this point. You know, we are where we're supposed to be. All that early season crap was just a blip. You know, we knew it was gonna be temporary. But Arsenal, you guys are a banter club, so this is quite normal for you. I expect you to be where you are. You shouldn't be shocked either, Chiz. This has been your lifestyle for a long time. Can you tell me a little bit about you guys' weekend?
Um, Two losses in a row. No direction. Probably gonna finish below 10. Um, I don't know, man. Arsenal is giving me so much problem at this moment. I don't feel like that energy that I had like at the beginning of the season. With the kind of improvement we've made in the team, the players we bought. I thought we would have had a better season than what we having right now. It's just embarrassing to watch them. What I mean, take on the field every weekend, and I mean, I say every weekday and every weekend at the moment, and it's just a bad watch. Um, the last game, the one with against Wolves, there's a whole lot of conversation we could have about that. First, about the refereeing in that game was horrible, but for the most part, I felt like we created enough chances to like actually secure that game, if not for the few blimps we have in that game that led to the loss. And the last game, yeah, it's a game we're gonna have to forget about quick because I don't understand what happened in that game. Keep it real with you. You know, we started playing good from the. No, we didn't even start. Like we had that mistake in the beginning, but we were actually playing good. We had good possession in that game. We had the ball for the most part, but we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And I don't even know what to expect moving forward from Arsenal. But
You definitely had some good. Are you talking about the Aston Villa game?
yeah, the Aston Villa game, we had possession of the game. I feel we controlled the game, but we just couldn't get our goal, and we let it go in the first 2 minutes of the game, and that was it. It was a game of fine margins, and they definitely what I mean, they came ready from the scratch of the game. We were still sleeping, and they took advantage of the game. And we, like I said, we pressed the game from the beginning to the end. I felt like we had more possession, more shots. I mean, not maybe not more shots on target because it seemed like they were peppering Ryan that day. Ryan probably saved us because he made some really, really super save those in that night to actually keep us in the game. But all in all, Arsenal are looking really bad right now. Partey seems like he has an injury too, so I don't know how to feel about that because he seems like he just plays one game and He's never available for the rest of the season. Uh,
There was a stat that he's only completed 4 games
yeah, four
since he
games.
started playing, with you guys. So I,
The
he,
Arsenal curse is back. You know what I mean? Everybody's just dropping like chickens these days. It's like we could barely have a full squad to actually show for every weekend. The bench looks depleted. It's a lot. You know what I mean? This season just got to be one of those seasons we just got to look back at and just not even think about it anymore and just move forward. Hopefully, with the changes we've made in this transfer window, like we getting the deadwood out of our team, I feel like it's gonna be positive for us come summertime. But the only problem is if you're not in European places or you're not in the Champions League places, it's like how you gonna attract players, and that's a problem I have with Arsenal right now because I want to see us improve. But at the same time, it's hard to improve when you can basically like put yourself in position to attract the big players because everybody wants to play in the in the Champions League. You're not
that's
gonna
true.
you're not gonna go talk to a player who's already in the Champions League and try to bring him to a team that probably wouldn't even be in the European places next season for sure. The way I'm looking at it, it just feels like because there's so many better teams than us that are ahead of us right now. And I don't see them dropping anytime soon. So it's gonna be a tough situation to deal with. But I bet Arsenal fans are just clinging up to the hope of winning the European League this year, which I don't think is gonna happen. But that's probably our
Yeah,
only way of savaging the season so far. But this season has really been really bad to watch, if you ask me.
yeah. Speaking of bad to watch, uh, I was on Twitter yesterday, and I saw what was trending. I saw that Saliba had made some comments about Arteta, and
Right.
he was I think he was being asked by some reporters, and he was saying that he never got a chance to show his what he has at Arsenal, and he
Right.
said that Arteta was too trigger happy and wanted to get him out and all that stuff. It seemed like there was some beef basically, and
I don't think
he,
Arteta fancied him. To be honest, he just didn't. He didn't give him a chance because it's like you gave Mustafi a chance. You know, you gave Rob Holding. Everybody got a chance. Even that David Luiz got a chance on the team. So I feel like you have a guy who's 18, highly talked about. You know, came into the team for like 30 something, $35 million. So many teams wanted him at the same time, and he chose us. And it's like you just treat the guy like he's nothing. And it's like you think about it, the other guy who was playing with him, Fofan, who was at the same team,
Fofana, yeah,
Fofana, yeah, he's actually been one of the best players in Leicester City this season. And it's like
he
he
sure
was
has.
Saliba was better than him back then when they both playing in at Saint Etienne back there last season. So it's crazy to think like what Arteta is really doing. I mean, don't believe me, I support Arteta through and through. Like that's the guy I want to see us take us to the next level. But at the same time, he's making a lot of mistakes that I don't know if he's gonna be able to like get himself out of it because the thing is like you started the season by messing with Ozil. I don't know if that's from Arsenal or that's from him, but he took the blame for it. Um, and that really messed with the whole chemistry of the team and the whole Saliba situation didn't help matters because it's like we were struggling at that moment, and it's like, why didn't you just play the guy? Like try him out. He never gave him a chance, and he just won the Player of the Month, and a Nice this month that just passed. So it's just hard to like understand what's going on in Arsenal behind the scenes. I just hope for major changes to happen by next season because I don't want to be part of this bullshit next season. To be honest with you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're right about him not. It seemed like
They make it.
Arteta. It seemed like Arteta is is learning on the job. Like every new coach has to at some
Right.
point make some decisions that will some will work out, some won't. I saw a lot of people saying that you gotta give him credit for being able to get rid of some of the guys, some of the dead wood. This especially this January, you guys were able to get rid of some really bad contracts. So that's freed up some space, some cap space. So hopefully you guys can make some good investments in the summer
That's
But
actually been our biggest problem recruitment. Like we're just not recruiting the best players, the good ones. If you look at a team like Liverpool, they got so many players without having to pay too much money. Like the only guy they paid a whole lot of money for was Virgil,
that's
and
true.
everybody else in that team, ballers, barely pay that much money for them. You know what I mean? But they just bought the right players at the right time and built a team, and that's what we really have to try to do. Like emulate that, try to build a team, and not just create a squad of individuals with like different kind of skills that don't really gel together. But another thing I'm gonna say, we're missing Kieran Tierney though. He's been like one of the biggest reasons we've been playing like good over the last couple of games for the last two games.
That's
Uh,
true.
and his injury has really been a problem for us because nobody else could do exactly what he does on the team. You know, we tried on what's his name,
Cedric.
Cedric. Cedric is limited. Like he can't do much. Like he's and first of all he's right footed, not left footed, and he's playing his man on the left. It makes everything even worse. But um
I heard somewhere that you don't have to be left-footed to make that simple pass that he misplaced in the first minute of the game. Somebody
yeah,
said that
no,
somewhere.
that
So that
that
I think
pass
that
right there was he had a brain fart that morning that morning or whatever. I don't know what he was thinking, man. That pass just ruined the whole game because that game would have been a nice game without that goal in the first couple of minutes because it was a nice game, interesting game. You know, what I mean, it was a good watch. Just the way both teams were playing. You know, the way Aston Villa were moving the ball to chances they created from
they're
the
a good team, though. They're a good
they're really
team.
good. They're really good. Watkins is a really good player. I rate that guy. You know,
I saw somewhere that you guys would be willing to take him at Arsenal.
Arsenal is willing to take everybody.
Yeah, y'all are linked to everybody.
I'm not new to this. We're linked to what's his name, Messi.
You
We're
the
linked to
link to
Ronaldo.
you link to Donald Trump too. You just
Tell me,
sign anybody, huh?
yo, yo, bro, I was trying to laugh, man. I still got me all tired right now. But yeah, we've been linked to a lot of we get linked to everybody, bro. Like it's not new to me at this point. It's just a case of none of those players will ever come to us. You ever seen like the starting 11 of the players Arsenal could have bought?
Yeah, you guys have like Ronaldo there.
Yeah,
It's nuts. It's nuts.
we got
Yeah.
one of those PlayStation 5 teams, like talking about one of those FIFA teams
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
you create in your bedroom and shit. Like, but yeah, but it's been crazy, man.
Let's peek out here for y'all.
It is peak, bro.
Any so I saw something about Thomas Partey's injury. They said it's not serious, and the midfielder could be back for the Sunday's Premier League match against Leeds. I mean, you guys are gonna need him for Leeds because I don't know if you've been paying attention to Leeds. They have they are this interesting team to watch. I watch their highlights just for the fun of it because
They play
they
ball,
play beautiful ball.
play ball.
And they just beat Crystal Palace yesterday, and I watched the game. Like, yo, just they play scintillating football. That Bamford guy is starting to score. He would miss easy goals and then score
Score
like
like a Wody, right?
yeah.
No, for real though, I ain't gonna lie. The Leeds are looking really like they. I mean, they came into the league straight up like balling, like you know what I mean. They have a certain type of play that they certain type of way they play. They move the ball around fast. They have
Yeah.
players that are very technical with the ball. They're a very good
guys
team.
like guys like Rafinha. Uh,
He's a baller.
Yeah, I see that guy, and I'm like, yo, I would take that guy at Chelsea. There are a couple of their players that I really rate.
Great, yeah,
I
yeah.
rate a lot of their players
You remember back in the days when guys could just go to like the big teams, just go to any small team and just
and just
grab
start
grab one player
grabbing
from
them
there.
up.
Yeah, your best player. It's like it barely happens anymore. It's like every
You
team
gotta
in the
put the
Premier
money
League is
down.
like.
You gotta pay. You gotta pay the money now
Because
because
I be watching Jack Grealish in Aston Villa. I'm like,
you're
yeah,
too good for
this guy,
this
he's
team.
too good, man. This guy should be playing for Manchester United or you know what I mean. Even though I don't like those men there, but
To
he
be
should be
fair,
playing. He should be
they
playing for a
lost.
team like that. Like like that's like Man City. Like he should be up there with the big guys. Like I don't understand why he's in Aston Villa, but I mean, hey, they pay him good.
You
He
lock him
feels
down
like
with that contract, man. That's how you do it. You lock him down with the contract early. so that whoever has to come get him now has to pay,
Big money. Yeah, whoever's
buku
coming.
amounts of money. Yeah.
But I think he's gone this summer for sure. It's just I can't just see him playing one more season in Aston Villa, man. Regardless of what position they finish in, I just feel like it's Aston Villa, bro. So
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, but it's gonna be expensive. But
that's one thing
whoever has to
I
get
really
him.
enjoy. I enjoy watching him play,
Me
man.
too.
He's a ball,
Beautiful, beautiful baller, man. Dude plays. I
perfect.
mean,
Like
that's what Arsenal fans think. Emil Smith
no,
Rowe is.
that's what Emil Smith Rowe thinks he is. You know what I'm saying? That's what Emil Smith Rowe thinks he is. It's not. I don't think it's like what I mean. He got the little sucks going on. Like he
Got
just.
the rough socks all rolled down, thinking he grillish,
But he
but
coming up though. He coming up. You seen the list of of
I fancy him too. I've always rated
no,
ESR,
you
bro.
definitely have
I've
rated
always
ESR.
rated him. I liked him from the first day I saw him against Chelsea. I think he was a difference in that game.
No,
But
he's a baller. He's a baller, man. He knows how to like play ball, but it's just he's young, man.
he's
So it's
limited.
like
He's also very limited right now because he's a kid. I mean, he's only
he's the kid. Like how what you expect? Like how much can you do? Like I mean, he brought us up all the way from where we were. Like, but at this point in time, I just feel like he's kind of limited. If I was Arteta, I would start Odegaard for the next game. I just like the way he held the ball up in that game, and he was moving the ball. He made the ball move a couple times. He got into like nice positions in that game. He wasn't able to finish, but he looked good. So I just hope he gets a start in the next game, and let's see what he could bring to the team. Maybe something a little different. Because at this point in time, right now, I just feel like creativity in our team is just it's lacking big time. It's just I can't because you think about Arsenal and back in the days, even when we had Ramsey, Wilshere, guys like Santi Cazorla, Ozil. We just had so many guys that we could just throw in the team and just you get technical football at its best. But at this moment in time, it's just a whole bunch of guys. Pate is probably the only guy in the midfield that actually could really make the ball move, but you can't. One player can do everything, man. You need a whole team to be ready to go, and I don't
what
feel
what
like yeah.
what do you say to people that are on Twitter, on football Twitter, saying that Pate left Atletico and now they're top of their league, and um, you know they went from whatever position they were last season to him leaving, and now
I,
they're top.
I
What do you
just
say to that?
the what I would say to that is Atletico Madrid is a well-oiled machine. Regardless of wherever you put in that team, it's a team. It's not really about individuals when you talk about that team. They've been built in a sense that you could take what's his name Suarez out, plug in another player, and you still get the same kind of football. It's just it's teamwork. They built the right way. Um, But he just shows it on Miss Pate, man. It's like they still balling. They doing good. If he was there, obviously they would have used
They're
them.
playing
But
better. They're playing better.
I
Like
mean, I
in
mean,
terms of
obviously they top of
in
the
terms of
league.
their position. Yeah.
It's a bad season because everybody's really struggling. If you think about it, even if, like when you talk about the Premier League, teams like Liverpool right now are struggling. You know, when you go to like the Spanish La Liga league, Barcelona is struggling. I mean, they're not playing at their best. Real Madrid is not playing at their best. So I mean, it's just one of those kind of seasons. So I can't really put it down to them losing party and getting better. It's not really what just happened. It's just more like I said, they're like a well-oiled machine. The team runs very well. Um, it's just a plug and play. I mean, you put in players together and everybody's ready to roll. So you got a great coach.
Obviously, it's too simplistic to assume that his departure has something to do with their
No,
rise to
that's
the
just
top of
not.
the league, but it is still,
But
it's
it's worth talking
interesting.
about.
It's
Yeah, it's a
interesting
conversation.
to think about. What changed for them. Because I think more importantly is what you know what you know the guy they added in Suarez. A lot of the chances they're converting right now, they weren't converting last season.
Right.
So
So
now they have a
that's
guy
probably the
like
difference maker
Suarez.
though.
Yeah, I mean, you have a world class striker every time, putting in, going about the business, scoring the goals. That to me is remarkable. So, all right, let's talk a little bit more about
Let's talk about Man City, bro. Like we got to give those guys credit. They doing something right now that at the beginning of the season, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought, you know, I mean, probably would have been Liverpool all the way back there trying to secure the position they secured last year. But it's looking like Man City is about to run away with this thing. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I caught some of that game on Sunday, and you have to give it to them. They seem like a really good team. You know, they missed the penalty and came right back, and Gundogan just looks like a baller, man.
They
That
just
dude
don't,
looks.
they unplayable right now, man. It's just they on different levels.
Yeah,
On both
and
ends.
I think more what's more impressive about them is the defense. They're not conceding goals.
Man,
The only
they win 1-0, bro. Like when was the last time you saw Manchester City win a game by 1-0? Like normally they be
yeah,
smashing teams up just to like get that win, but it's like now they just secure the bag and lock up. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't really try to do too much anymore. They know themselves.
and
And
they can like run up the score, but I think that uh, Pep has adapted to the Premier League, and a lot of the argument was that can he revitalize this team? Can he turn this team around? He has that 3 year cycle where he's good and then he leaves, but then
I'm
he signed that extension, this contract, and I think he was willing to adapt and change and beef up that defense. And okay, maybe we're not going to score as many goals yet.
right.
Obviously, the only team they still like pummeled this season was Burnley when they beat them 5-0. But in general, they've just kept it, measured and controlled. And I mean, I'm seeing, you know, Sterling run past Trent Alexander Arnold like he's not even there.
Like he
And
was touring with that team that night. Like he was
yeah,
really
and
playing on
and
different levels.
and Foden looks like such a baller, and Gundogan, like so many
But
good players there.
who you think is better, Foden or Saka? Sorry to cut you off from that because I feel like people give Foden way too much credit sometimes, and Saka is like,
I
he's
think
good.
more people give Saka credit because credit Saka is more of a focal point in Arsenal than Foden is. Foden doesn't start every game.
No, but
A lot. Of,
that's you. But I'm just saying, like when I really be on
I
Twitter, just in
personally, I
general, like
personally, I personally
people
think
were.
that Foden is a better player than him personally, but I like Saka a lot
Why
too.
would you say that? No, I'm just asking though. Why you think is a better?
And this has nothing to do with like me, my hate for Arsenal, because I personally don't like um I don't like Foden all that much because obviously
No,
he's a
but
Man City
you
fan.
telling me like
Yeah,
you. I'm just asking you, right? You say he's better than Saka. Why?
yeah,
What makes you think he's better than Saka? Like, is it goals? Is it like what? I'm gonna understand.
it's his technical ability. He's just such a technical player. He is like if you watch him play, you just know that he's going to do something that will change the game. Um, he's so clinical in the box. Just I don't know if you saw his goal on Sunday. He's just the shift to the left and smashing it. He's decisive, and also he's for me, I like to see how somebody plays with good players, and he elevates the other guys around him in ways that I know Saka does too. But you can actually just
Saka's
pass.
carrying it. Saka's carrying the team. I don't. I mean, your argument, everything you're saying makes sense about Foden, but Saka does everything you said, even
Yeah, I'm
more.
just saying.
Scores more goals,
I don't know
more
about
assists.
more. I don't
More.
think
I mean, check
more.
the numbers. More goals, more assists. He's more of a vocal point. I mean, if Foden
But
was
you
that great of a player, he would be the number
like I
one guy in
said,
the team sheet, right?
Foden doesn't play as much as Saka does.
But
So
what?
Saka
Why? What's? I don't understand the excuse
because
for him not
because if
playing
you
this.
because if you
If you're
look
good
at
enough, you're supposed to be playing every game, right?
not necessarily, you're not
I
going to
mean, but I
start
mean,
over De Bruyne.
you
You're not going to start against De
not
Bruyne.
every game, but you get what I'm saying.
He
If you
has
that good
he,
of a player, you should definitely be 1, 2, 3 numbers called out on the what you call it on the team sheet.
well, yeah, depending on you have to also look at the talent you have on the team. I think the reason that Saka gets to play a lot is because you guys are lacking in talent compared to a team like Man City.
It is easier to play with better players. I would argue that in any time than to be in a team that is actually not as good as Arsenal and still dominate. If put
I
Saka in
pers-
Man City, Saka would score like 20 goals a season. I'm sorry, I'm just keeping it real because he would be like getting
that's not
easy into like
you.
easy play. Bro. I'm
So
talking about like
listen. So there are a lot of players that can play well when there's little pressure on them. When they're the best player on the team, I fancy players that can then step up when there are better players than them on the team, and they still have the same output, and they still put in, world class performances regardless. For me, that's what I've seen. I could see
So what are you
a
trying to
guy
tell me?
like
Saka in Man City at this point, he wouldn't be scoring goals and doing what he's doing
I
right now.
think I think I think it will be getting. I think it will be getting play time, but I think Foden will be ahead of him just because Foden for me is just he's just a better player. He's just a better player
Man,
for
people
me.
gotta start giving Saka respect. I don't think Foden's better than
I
Saka.
think most.
I think
I think
I think in both levels, they both great players, and you know, I mean, they're coming up the right time at the right place, and you know, they grown in the right pace. But
I think
people
I
gotta
think
respect Saka and
the
what he's
re,
doing.
the
Saka is
reason I
he's
the
on
re,
levels, man. He's the
I think
best young
most
star right now at the moment, in my opinion. He's doing
I think
things.
most people fancy Saka more than Foden. That's what you don't realize. If you go on Twitter, if you go on football Twitter, people fancy Saka more than Foden. I'm just this
No,
is
but I
all
asked you,
this
and
is
you're telling me Foden is better than Saka,
I
and
pers I'm you said what's my opinion. That's what you asked me. I'm not saying what people are saying. My
no,
opinion.
I get understand your
Yeah.
opinion, but
So
I still don't
so
agree with
my
it though.
my opinion is that he is better. I mean, for me, a lot of Arteta's game is just freestyling. Um, Foden
Freestyle.
plays Foden plays under a very defined system in Pep. Obviously, you can't tell me Pep doesn't have a more defined system
I mean,
versus Arteta.
Pep is more experienced, been there
Yeah,
for
exactly.
years,
So he
been
has
in the biggest stages for almost like a decade now. So I mean, it's not levels. He's on different levels with Arteta. But I mean, I get what you're saying, but
So I respect. I like to see how a player plays under a well structured system. So for me, I've seen enough from Foden to say that if you put him under a system, he can work his way around it. You know, he's you know he's not limited by the system. He's almost empowered by it. I could the good thing about Saka is that he gets a freestyle in a system like Arteta's because there's no real.
how's he
It's a
freestyling?
lot
It's
of
not like he's
vibes.
number
It's
10.
all
There's no
vibes.
vibe. I don't know what you're talking about
Dude
vibes.
plays like he plays like 10 position a season. You think
He's
you
just
think
that good. That's not vibe. That's you got to respect that. He's not like he plays
I
every position and
respect
he
that.
plays
I
it great.
respect that.
So
But I like
it's not like oh you bad go play that position. Nah, you got to be
no
good
no.
enough and trustworthy enough. You a coach to tell you go play defense when they know you're an attacking player. And Saka can play defense and play defense like he's the best left back in the league. Put him in the right side of the wing. He's balling like he kicked Pepe out of that side, and nobody is gonna argue that. He's been one of the best players on that side of the wing this year, and it's like he's doing numbers too. He's scoring goals every week, giving assists. I mean, I don't know what you could ask for from a player. You know what I mean?
Like I
He makes the
said,
right decision. He's very
I think
skillful.
I
When
think
he
the
holds the ball, when he has
reason
the ball, his decision making is up there with one of the best players. You know what I mean? So
I personally think that he's great. I just told you. I just think he's not on the same level as Foden, and it's not even close.
he's
But
better than Foden. I don't know why you say he's not on the same level. He's scoring more goals, giving more assists. I'm telling you, what numbers do you want to compare? Are you going off for the eye test? Because the eye test too, I could tell you, Saka looks amazing. So why is he
if
levels
it's
above
if it's
Saka?
if it's if it's eye test, man,
But
come
I
on.
don't know what you're seeing Foden that makes him
It's
like
not even
so
close.
great of a
If
player.
it's
That's
eye
like
test,
what does he do?
I just
I think it's Arsenal hating right there. I swear to God. Like, what does Foden do that makes you think this guy's better than Saka? I don't. You've not really everything you said. Saka does the same exact thing. So you really didn't say anything different, like specific to me that maybe separates both of them. It's
he's a better finisher. Foden is a better
how
finisher. He's a better creator. He creates more
he doesn't have more
for the
assists. He
team.
doesn't have more goals. How does that? Those numbers don't match up. I'm talking about Premier League. I'm not talking about mixing.
So if we're gonna go by that, we're gonna go how many minutes they've both played, because you're more likely to get more assists if you play more minutes, right? Do you agree with that?
But if you were that good, you would definitely be playing more minutes.
Yeah, if you played with better teams, you think Saka would play if you guys had like a better player than Saka? Because the thing is that you guys have limited talent in your team.
You just can't hold back talent though. If you see a guy who's balling out of control, like I say, Foden was that great of a player. He's world beater, that
So
great, like you're
so you
saying right
think
now, he would be number one guy on that list, regardless of who's on that team. It's just how
so
football works.
you think Saka would start over a guy like De Bruyne on your team, right?
I mean, they're gonna make it work. They're gonna try to put him in the team some type of way to fit in, and he's
Exactly.
that good.
So yeah, that's why you guys are in 10th place because they squeeze people in, and Man City is in first place because you guys are putting players in wrong positions. That's why
Yeah,
he's playing
I get you.
on the left back and is playing the mid because you
That
don't
makes
have the
that
talent.
makes absolutely no sense. But
You're
yeah,
playing him out of
for
position.
Bonte's sake, I'll let that rock. You know what I'm saying? We're playing 10
No,
position, we're playing
you
out of
can't just
position.
say you
What
let
are
it
you saying?
ride. You're not telling me anything that confirms your point.
I give you my
You have
point.
to
I told you goals, more
to
goals, more numbers. I gave you
you have
my
to
the reason why I
accept it.
said Saka is
You have
better. His
yeah,
numbers are better. You
it's
know what I'm
all
saying?
stat padding though. It's all stat
That
padding because
pattern what?
all he's doing is giving you goals into and you guys are in 11th position. So for
Oh,
me,
I mean, this 11th position is the greatest thing you could ever use against Arsenal at this moment. I mean, you can enjoy it. I mean, there's
oh, I
nothing wrong with
better
that.
use it. I mean, when
Cool.
else would I
Enjoy that
not
shit, brother.
use?
Enjoy it. It's just what it is. 10 position. That don't mean that.
You
What does
guys
that
are in
mean?
10th place. What does that mean?
You
You're
guys have a
10th.
little a little bounce back from, you know what I mean, getting a new coach. That don't mean it's gonna last. I mean, let's see what happens. You guys just played 3 games with a new coach. It's normal like that. When you get a new coach, you get that new
We're
bounce. Everybody feels that energy, trying to show themselves in the training ground. I'm better
why are
than
you
you.
making this about us right now?
No, because
You're the one in the 11th place.
it's called bias show. So I mean, I could go at any angle I want to go with this. So and that's the angle I feel like going because you come in at Arsenal for 10th
Damn, you
place.
sound really hurt right now. Holy
Bro,
shit.
this is better. Don't even get off of it. Nah, now you trying to be
This nigga
sentimental.
really hurt.
Let's stick to the banter. I'm with the banter right there. I'm not with no
Bro,
sentiment. Don't bring no sentimental for me. I don't want that
let me
flute playing music in
the
the
reason
background. You trying to do?
the
Let's
reason
have a
that
conversation.
the reason that
I know you're feeling yourself right now. You got a little bouncy, feeling right now. Defenders are scoring goals. You know what I mean? I getting penalties.
listen.
Strikers are still ass.
I'm all about banter.
Harvard
Listen,
is still ass.
let
You
me
know what
get
I
a
mean?
point. Let me get a point in real quick. All right.
Get a point in.
See, let me the banter is cool. Banter is cool, but we can't deny facts either.
What's the fact? What's
The
the fact?
fact is that
You act like you guys are a war beater. You're gonna win the league and shit. You guys is horrible, like we are. You guys just have 3 games that
listen,
went
listen.
good for you guys. We went backwards in the last
We're
three
talking
games.
about Man City versus you
But
guys. That's all.
you came for Arsenal and you're not a Man City fan. So I
But
gotta
you
give
are in
you.
11th place, though, aren't you?
I mean, you guys were there in 9th place
Oh my
last 2 weeks.
god, this
The
nigga
league
said
flips every
where?
week. So
Why are
let's
you
calm
talking
down.
about the past, bro?
Calm
We're in
down,
fifth
calm
place.
down. The league
We're in
flips
fifth
every
place.
weekend. Enjoy this week and just, what I mean, enjoy the week, enjoy the good feeling. But next week is not going to be the same, obviously. By the time you start getting those games your coach is not going to be able to understand what's going on in the league before he understands what's happening. Like y'all would have got smashed up 3 games in a row, then you're going to be back here talking about how he should get fired and he's not good enough for the job and all this crazy stuff. So let's not
Do
really
you
get
agree?
too ahead of ourselves right now.
Do you agree that right now you guys are a banter club?
We've always been a banter club. If that's what you want to, is that the energy you want? We've been
That's the
banter for like 10 years now. So
that's
I'm
the
not new to
soundbite
it.
that I needed. That's the soundbite. Appreciate you for that.
You
But
got it. You got what you want, brother. Anytime, any day. That I'm not worried about Arsenal being a banter club. I'm talking football at the same time. But you know what I mean. You don't run off the banter. I call Chelsea. You want to hide? Oh no, don't talk about Chelsea.
what are you
Let's
talking
stick to
about?
Man City. It's not Chelsea.
It's too easy for me to talk about Chelsea right now. We're in fifth place.
It's too easy to talk about Chelsea. Fifth place could turn out to be 10 next
What
week,
are you
bro.
talking about? What
Two
could
games,
happen?
2 games back to back. Y'all back
Why?
where y'all belong, bro. Let's not
Why?
get too excited. This is just new manager bounce. It happens. Even the
I accept.
small
I
teams
personally
like Sheffield who get a new coach and win a couple games. It happens. Like we
let
all
me
do
tell
that.
you. Let me tell you what the general consensus around Chelsea fans are right now. We are upset about where we are in the league.
We upset
Right?
too. Who's not upset, bro? It's a crazy season.
Because we had high expectations going into the league, right? We are. I mean, we're in fifth place, but
I spent
we
almost
actually
$1 billion.
sadly we
A
spent a
billion,
lot
yeah.
of money. We
So
spent a lot of money this year, so we expected better. But to pretend like we're not in a better spot than y'all would be absolutely
you guys are better than us right now. I mean, that's not an
exactly.
argument. That's
So
nobody's arguing that. What
but
I'm saying is like
you're
if
acting
I could
like
answer you, it's by a show take everything away from it, banter is part of the show. It's just part of it. So you know what I
Wait,
mean?
no, but like when I banter you, you sound really hurt about it because it's like,
Bro, I love Arsenal. What you mean it's not really hurt? Like, are you trying to make me feel some? This is a team that I support. Like, obviously, it's like this is a relationship type vibe with me and Arsenal. So if I have a reaction, it's because I like the team. If I don't care, I'll just be like, fuck it. But I mean, that don't go nowhere. It's between it's a friendly banter going on here, bro. I'm not, you know what I mean? I understand. I know we suck. We're gonna be
all
all right.
right, all right,
We're gonna be
but
fine.
awesome, awesome. Let's cover a couple other topics before
Yeah.
we end this. All right, so we have I saw some stuff about the some of the games will have to be played in neutral grounds because of COVID reasons.
Right.
I think you guys are gonna be playing in. Uh, don't have that information
You
right
talking
now.
about the European football, right?
Yeah, European football. So there's some talk about them having to play some games in neutral grounds. What do you think about that?
I don't have a problem with that,
So you
bro.
guys are
Like,
gonna be playing. Apparently, gonna be playing in somewhere in Rome
yeah,
due to COVID travel restrictions between the UK and Portugal. That's your so. What do
yeah.
you think? You think that's a plus? Is that a
I think Arteta should just basically just everything he knows in relationship to football. He should just basically put it all together for the Europa League because that's the only hope he has of salvaging the season or making anything out of the season. So I don't care if we play in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if they move that game all the way to Saudi Arabia. I don't care, bro. I just want to get a win. And that's what I
so?
worry about the most at this point. It's just get the wins.
So it's
And
Europa League or bust, right? Basically, right?
it's got to be, man. The Europa League has been one of the worst seasons I've ever experienced because I can't even understand or put my mind together around what the season has really been like. It's just so catastrophic, bro. Every day I watch Arsenal play, I'm like, damn, why did I even sign up for this? You know what I'm saying? I get that feeling, bro. But hey, like it's still a love and hate relationship. Arsenal always do that to you, man. It's like so many years deep in this, but we're still gonna support. Like I said, it's still on the question. We're gonna have to get a win regardless. I don't care where we play. We play in a hole. We need a
And
win.
because the thing is, it's gonna be a lot of teams having to do this because of COVID restrictions. So that's including Chelsea. Uh,
Where you guys playing at?
I don't know for sure. I think it said Bucharest. Sounds like one of those places that you guys Arsenal have been playing for since 2017.
Yeah,
So, but another
Arsenal's
thing that
awesome.
I saw is I saw this talk about. It was tweeted by Oliver Dowden. He
Yeah,
said that there's been some they're trying to crack down on a bunch of people that are using Twitter as a cover to be racist. So there was a story last week where Reese James. I don't know, I'm hearing some echoes. I don't know what that is about, but
it's a echo feedback. Is it? I don't hear nothing on this side though.
okay.
You still hear it?
I think it's only when I speak I hear it, but
Yeah, it's that Chelsea shit.
so
It's that Chelsea Wi-Fi you got going on.
yeah. So apparently they said that the online racist abuse of the players is absolutely shocking and must stop. In advance of this recent spate of cases, I called an MTG to hear firsthand account of the daily abuse players receive and the awful toll it takes on them. And Chelsea also said that we welcome today that this morning they arrested some guy. His name is not Pole Football, attending address and whatever. And they arrested a 21-year-old male under the Malicious Communication Act.
Right.
Basically, they're saying that you can just go around abusing players online and calling them monkeys and saying these really
Yeah, I
really
mean,
wild stuff.
honestly, it's 2021. Racism in football is just it's crazy we still having this conversation. And it's like I feel like they know what to do, the people who are like up there in charge. But I mean, I don't feel like it's black people suffering, you know. when it comes to black people, it's really not a lot of people that are trying to get involved in our situation. So we got to fight for our own selves. And it's just kind of weird that it's 2021 and we're still dealing with racism and people calling footballers out after a bad game. And you see them praising the same guys when they win. It's a very, very mixed feelings. I don't understand. I hate going on Twitter after losses, man, because it's just like you just see the worst things that you never expect to see. Um, I feel like they should do something like really big about this. We can't just keep having these conversations every year and there's really no changes. Social media has been a gift and a curse at the same time, but it's just the freedom of speech and people going online and just being able to just write whatever bullshit they write from the basements. It's just unacceptable, man. It's got to be taken out. We can't accept racism in football. We can't accept racism in real life. It's not worth it, man. It's not not the energy we're gonna keep supporting. Everybody who takes part in those kind of situations should definitely have to face the law, and something big has to be done to them. That's how people are gonna learn, and probably change will come from that. But just like I said, the guys who are up there, the upper echelon of most of those football teams, and that control the actual sports itself, need to really dig deep and do something big about this, because like I said, it's just unfair to like the players, man. Like, you want to go home and relax after a loss, and it's like you go online, you can't run away from this, bro. It's like we act like they don't see this stuff. They see everything, man. It's just impossible for you to.
Yeah, it's hard to miss. You gotta
Yeah, they see all of
face.
this, man. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
so
just
yeah, Oliver Dowden, the same guy
yeah.
that tweeted, says that we're going to change the laws to make social media companies more accountable to what happens on their platforms, and they can start showing the duty
Right.
of care to players today by weeding out racist abuse now. Players must not be abused for doing their jobs. Enough is enough. So it seems that they are trying to crack down on these people, and hopefully we see less of these abuse of our players as the time goes on. So
It's always the black guys, man. It's just like I said, it's just so annoying because you don't see black people going out there cursing white people out after losses and stuff. It's like, why got to be the black guy got to be cursed out after every loss? It's not
I think banter is cool. Going at a player for being trash in the game, that's cool. But when you start
right.
making it about races,
Family and
about
all that
the
crazy stuff,
races, and
man.
then you start going after your personal life and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, folks
yeah.
just
That's
gotta. People be taking stuff too seriously sometimes. They gotta chill
like,
out.
bro, like it's just
This
soccer,
stuff.
man. It's just a sport. Like, this is entertainment right here. This is not like life or death. Like, people just act like their whole life revolves around this. Like, if
Yeah,
and
folks.
mind you, not every player is gonna be great every game. And like, these guys are human beings. Like, are you perfect in everything you do? No, you're not. Like, you know what I'm saying? People have their own issues in their regular jobs, day-to-day life. So I don't understand why you would be so judgmental to a player who's just, what I mean, comes on the field and just entertains for 90 minutes. Like, I, and
True.
we go. I know most of the time they go with the whole fact, oh, they get paid a lot of money. That don't mean nothing, bro. Like, money doesn't equate to you actually.
Disrespect. Yeah, I'm not gonna take disrespect because I make a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm still a man at the end
like,
of the day.
like keep that money, get my dignity, man. What's all this rubbish with? Like, I
Yeah,
don't respect none of that, man. I'm passionate about racism. I hate it. It's got to be eradicated real fast, man. Like, quick.
yeah. All right. So I mean, I think we covered most of the topics that we wanted to cover today. Is there anything you want to add, Chiz, before we round this thing up?
Nah, bro. I'm just, what I mean, like I said, I just enjoy doing this so far. It's been looking real good out here. And I just want to thank you. You do a great job in moderating this podcast too, very well. So, I mean, let's just keep doing what we do, and hopefully, we're gonna connect with the people as time goes by.
All right, you heard it. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, share with your friends. Let's
Family,
get the
everybody.
word out. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch up with you guys soon. Keep it locked.
Keep it locked. All right, brother.